Hi Turaco fans! Today I'm in Plettenberg Bay, or Plett as we call it here in South Africa. This is SA's favorite holiday town, with the finest beaches in Africa, excellent waves for surfing, and a perfect place to bronze in the sun. The resort has the finest dining options where one can sip cocktails and dance in the moonlight in the many bars and clubs. Plett is served by a very small aerodrome, and commercial services here have been on and off in the last 30 years. It's only 3 kilometers from the town of Plett and 30 kilometers from Knysna, so I decided to check this out. Presently, the only airline serving Plett from Joburg and Cape Town is CEMAIR. I checked out their airfares, and they are slightly higher than flying from George to Cape Town, but still quite reasonable, especially if you live in Plett or Knysna. So today's flight is operated by a Bombardier de Havilland -8 Q300 aircraft. This aircraft manufacturer serial number 571 was constructed in Canada and has been put into service in the Netherlands, Taiwan, and Australia before being acquired by CEMAIR. CEMAIR is a privately owned South African airline based in Joburg. It serves popular tourist destinations and provides business links to major Southern African cities. It also leases aircraft to other airlines in Africa and the Middle East. It started in 2005 with the purpose of operating turboprop commuter aircraft. In 2018, CEMAIR went through some operational difficulties. But these difficulties were quickly overcome, and since the end of the pandemic, CEMAIR has now grown quite rapidly. It has a fleet of 21 turboprop and regional jet aircraft. They are also placing orders for 3 Airbus A319s, possibly to be used on the busier Joburg, Cape Town, and Durban routes. Okay, so whilst we wait for the Joburg passengers to disembark, let's explore this little Plett aerodrome. Little? My goodness, that's an understatement. It looks like a shack. But very sweet. It has toilet facilities, obviously a very small check-in desk, security screening, and a teeny-weeny little waiting room where you can sit whilst you wait for your flight. But nothing for restaurant or refreshments, and there's no vending machine either, so if you're thirsty, too bad. So for that, you'll have to wait to get onto your flight. Well, we are now ready to go, so let's check this flight out. The -8 Q300 has a 2x2 cabin seating. In total, there are 50 seats on board. I booked myself a window seat at 6A. Only problem is it was directly under the wing and engine. So if you want a better view, I would recommend to book window seats in rows 1 to 5.
Located as follows: 2 exits to the front of the cabin and 2 exits towards the rear of the cabin. Floor light strips will illuminate, leading the way to these exits.
And we're off. The Dash 8 series is a very remarkable feat of engineering in that this aircraft can take a heavier payload and perform well on short runways. Today's weather was fantastic, so I was able to film all the towns and features we were flying over on our way to Cape Town. And voila, there we have the azure waters of the Indian Ocean. Unfortunately, we are a bit too high up to see any whales down there, but I promise you, they are there. Plett is very famous for its whale watching. Our Dash Q300 is now climbing at a rate of 2,500 feet per minute. And when she reaches 25,000 feet, she will reach her cruising altitude of 280 knots. That's about 500 kilometers per hour. For hauling up this 5-ton payload of passengers, she will use 3,210 liters of fuel. That's 450 liters per hour. Now do you understand why ticket prices are so high? And here we are passing over Knysna and its famous lagoon. You can also clearly see the golf courses, and there is Teasen Island with its bridge connecting it to the mainland and the center of Knysna. No sooner than that, we were now passing over Sedgefield and its two lakes, Groenvlei and Swartvlei, a fisherman's delight. Now can you see a little fishing boat down there? George is next, with the majestic Outeniqua mountain ranges behind it. We are now almost at our cruising altitude at this stage, so George looks rather small than it actually is. Yep, this is only a 1-hour flight, but we still do get some complimentary snacks and cool drinks on this flight. And the time flies quite quickly, so we were now starting our descent into Cape Town, and a lovely view of the winelands and the mountains below us. After the captain makes the famous swoop past the Tygerberg Mountains, he now aligns the aircraft for approach into Cape Town International Airport, runway 19. Well, folks, that concludes our CEMAIR flight today from Plett to Cape Town. My overall rating for my CEMAIR flight experience scores 3 stars. The ground staff and cabin crew were very friendly. The cabin was clean, however, the cabin windows were quite dirty, so unfortunately, I had to take away a star for that. The ticket price was reasonable. I can see that CEMAIR is trying really hard to keep the fares competitive in these trying times, so for that they get 3 stars. I know this is only a 1-hour flight, but perhaps they could have offered a bit more choice of snacks, like sandwiches and muffins, instead of just crisps and cool drinks. Their website was easy to use and the booking process went smoothly. The only complaint I have is the fare rules were not clear enough before processing the payment, so I had to call to verify. Well done, CEMAIR. Keep climbing. And from me, I wish you all many happy landings.